Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I'm back. Like I told y'all before, anytime I'm gone for a minute or something like that, it's an issue, and it's a lot of times out of 10 it's serious. But you know what I'm saying, it ain't even worth getting into. You know what I'm saying, I've been through a lot this little week right here. And you know what I'm saying, wasn't no social media or nothing or anything. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm back right now, and I'm back to continue my quest. And I hate saying that I'm back, so let's clear that whole frequency out, and let's get into this motherfucking video right now. Now, this video right here is how you use your intellect, or how intellectual you are. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, this is going to deal with your Mercury. Now, when we talk about Mercury, see, we know a lot of people. It's a way of talking about things, but there's also talking about where things came from, and that's what my channel is about. So we want to talk about the actual mechanisms of Mercury. Mercury off the bat. Now, like I said in the last video, the sun is how you see things. So the sun is your actions, the way you act, so how you perceive things to be done, or how you see things that's not being done. So how you be hard on yourself. So if you got like something that's square, like say you got Neptune squaring your sun like me, then you're gonna have to learn how to apply some of your dreams, creativity, illusions, and imaginations, and learn how to apply that with your actions. Incorporate it with your actions in some type of way. Incorporate it with how you see things, and you'll start to see doors open. You're gonna have to learn that, or you're gonna be diving into an illusion and having a lot of self-doubt. Say you got the sun, whatever the sun opposes, that's what's going to be opposite to how you see things. It's going to oppose it. So you know, if you are Gemini, you're gonna naturally see things opposite than a Sagittarius. But the things that in this realm of reality that shows itself that you don't that you see opposite with is whatever planet you're gonna have opposite there. And we know the oppositions and the squares. The oppositions is the ops. Is opposite energy, and the square is the learning process. But both of these come from external. They come from outside of you. So they could come from a person, place, or thing. Now the trine and the sextile. The trine is a gift, is your gifts, and the sextile is your opportunities. Now these is what you give off. These is what other people gonna catch from you. So the sextile and the trine is what you give off, and the square and the opposition is what you receive. So you know what I'm saying? Also when we talk about like the sun, anything that so you can have good gifts or bad gifts, you know what I'm saying, and conjunction go hand in hand. It could work like energies you're receiving or energies you're giving out. You see what I'm saying? Now when we talk about Mercury is how you actually gonna analyze what you actually see, because we know the sun is the headship. The sun is the spirit. The sun is the eye. The sun is what's seeing. The sun is the path. The head of the road. It's your head. It's your head. Your mind. Your thoughts. Your frequency. With the head of the frequency line. So that's what the sun plays as a full being, as a collection of all these planets. So when we go into Mercury is how you actually, since we know the sun is how you act and how you see things, Mercury is going to be how you analyze what you're actually seeing. You see something, and what's the first thing you do as a caveman or cavewoman? You think, what is this? You analyze, what is this? You can try to communicate with it. So that's what Mercury, that's the energy and the attributes that Mercury going to carry out. So things like that plays out through your nerve system, your natural movements, your first awareness of movements and stuff like that. Like say you want to look left and then you look left. Boom. Mercury did that. You know what I'm saying? Your nerve system, your engineer, the engine that's near, you know what I'm saying? The person that's controlling the engine and all that. You know what I'm saying? This is what Mercury controls. So, right here, when we got Mercury, now Mercury is how you actually logically or rationalize what you actually see from your sun. So the idea that you see, any light, anything you see in the light, these are ideas. The trees, streets, everything is ideas. So you're seeing it, right? So you see it from the actual sun. And your sun actually see it by you being able to take part in action in it. So it's like your sun correlating with the overall sun you're under. So depending on your sun sign and depending on where the sun at right now, Like right now, the sun is in Gemini. That's how you're going to relate to the energies. That's how you relate to the energies of your actions and today's actions, how you're supposed to apply it. So it's up to you whether you're going to have a bad day or a good day. But that's another video. When we talk about Mercury is how you rationalizing and how you analyze these everything that you're seeing, and how you rationalize and analyze your own actions and other people's actions. This is what Mercury does. So when we get into Mercury, let's talk about Mercury within the elements. Now, Mercury within the elements. Now, let's start off with Mercury and fire. Now, Mercury and fire, how you use your intellect and how you think about things. You think about things that deals with visions. You have to be able to visualize it, because that's fire. Fire is a light you can see, and it has a form of fluid to it because it dances. So it's something that's brought out of another realm of reality into this realm of reality due to magic and rituals. So what happens here is when you bring fire, a spark or something in this realm of reality, this is a fluid realm of reality because you're able to experience it. So you're in something. So you're in a round womb, whatever you want to call it. So now when the frequency of fire comes here, it's able to move in here, but it has to stay burning to stay here. So it has to burn things in this realm of reality to stay here. So it's burning through reality. That's what you're actually seeing. It's just you think it's something being burnt up. No, it's something being burnt through the reality of it, the matter of it, the physicality of it, and you're able to see through it. So when you light a fire, right, you just looking at fire, you're looking at another realm of reality. You're not, it's because it didn't burnt through this realm of reality, and it has to burn. Listen, anytime a fire stay hot, right, it's burning something, right? So say you got a lighter, right? And you light the lighter, right? It's staying burning, right? But what is it burning? It's in the air, right? And you might say, damn, you can't burn through the air though. But there's actually no air space within that fire. This fire, that's actually just a whole nother realm of reality right there. It burnt through this reality, and you're seeing through another realm of reality. And the more and more you see this reality through the fire, it's like that's the fading out through it. You can see more and more of me through the bottom of the where it's blue at, but the higher up, the more light and the more fire it is, you can't see through that. You're actually seeing through another realm of reality. It's not that, okay, oh, this is on fire, something's on fire here. No, that's it burnt the surroundings that you see that's in the fire, the actual fire that you see, there's nothing there but that fire. That's another realm of reality. If you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not in the air. It burnt through the air. Fire has to keep burning in order to be here. So what is it burning? I know the fuel is burning, but it's burning the air. So if you're looking at it, you're not seeing air there, or you're not seeing something in the air. You're seeing just that realm of reality. And that's how water plays. Water is the opposite, is the true opposite of fire, not air. In astrology, the opposite is fire, air, water, earth, but they're opposite compatibilities. But true opposites is fire and water, and air and earth. Because air is the matter, earth is the solid. And we know matter and solid is energy. And we know fire is like the frequency, and water is like the experience. You can feel the depthness of it, aka the denseness of it. You see what I'm saying? Hot, cool. You see what I'm saying? So that's more like the frequency. And that's more like the vibration. Fire is like the frequency. Water is like the fluid, the vibration. And matter is like the air, and solid is like the energy. I mean, not the energy, but solid is like the earth. And both of those are energy. Air and earth are energies. You know what I'm saying? And fire is like a frequency. Water is like a vibration. But they're both vibrate in this realm of reality. So when we talk about Mercury and fire, they need to visualize. They have to see what you're saying. So this is why a lot of times, like, I'm a Mercury in Aries, so a lot of times I look like I'm looking for something, or I always look like I'm trying to see something a certain type of way when we in a conversation, or we think, or even when I walk into a room, or any fire and Mercury sign, they looking like they're looking for something, or they're into you, or into something, or into what you're wearing, and they're seeing. They look like they're looking at something. They look like they're seeing. And in their mind, they're doing the same thing. Like, I like to visualize. Like, so a lot of times, I don't have, yeah, I got a haircut. A lot of times, I I don't like the patience of someone else communicating or trying to rationalize their story. A lot of times I don't have the patience to visualize it the way they're visualizing it, because my Mercury is in Aries. So Aries is cardinal fire, initiating and creating new ways of how to see and feel. So when a person is sitting there with their story and going over and over, if I'm pointing out direct pieces that doesn't correlate, and the way I visualize it isn't the way you're visualizing it, and then you got this whole visualization that doesn't even match my way of seeing it, or my way of trying to see it, or create a new way of trying to feel about it, then I'm not gonna have the patience, you know what I'm saying, to sit there. Now if I was a Mercury in Sag, then maybe I would try to see or try to feel it from your point of view. If I was a Mercury in Leo, then I might just have my own way of seeing and feeling about all forms of conversation or thinking. But as an Aries, I'm too busy trying to create a new. So while you're telling your story, I'm in my head already got a new way of how you should see it, or already got a new way of how you should feel about it. So I might not mean to cut you off, but something might just make sense to me. I didn't burn through the reality of what you were saying and burn through the senses, the five senses, and try to show you the spirit of it, or the energy you should have about it, or the expression you should have about it. And then a lot of times that come off as aggressive, or come off like I'm trying to lead you away or something like that. And that's for less evolved Aries. But I'm more evolved, so I know not to do that. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do that with more prestige. And plus with my moon being in Sag and being a trine, a lot of times it make me feel more comfortable to understand how a person see things, or how another person feel about things, because that's mutable fire. So, you know, Mercury in the fire signs, you have to visualize. You always visualizing. Now, Mercury in the water, you always have to connect. If whatever you're talking about, analyzing, or whatever information you're trying to see from the word, like with your actions, your sun sign, the way you act and how you see things. When your Mercury is in water, the way you start to intellectualize it or rationalize it, you have to connect to it. It has to impact you emotionally. You have to feel it. If it's something that's just too rational, too logical, and it's like, damn, but what was their purpose? What was their expression when they did that? Did they really feel that way or something like that? If you can't connect to that aspect of it, you can't logically understand it. And a lot of times, see, that's when fire and water may mess up in Mercury, because Mercury is the logic planet, so this is how you logically think. But if how you logically think is in a right brain sign, then you're gonna be logically thinking about things that's not logical all the time. So even when you come across, especially Mercury and Pisces people, you think you coming across that's something that logically makes sense, and it may really logically make sense, but just the way it come out is not. No matter, I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? So in some way, shape, or form, you're going to have to learn some type of creative method to get these out, or go to some type of language school, or go to school and learn whatever language you in to properly communicate the things that you logically and rationally try to see, which is Mercury. Because Mercury is how you logically and analyze what you see, and your actions and other people's actions, which is just based upon your sun. All these planets is going to be based upon your sun, because without no frequency, you wouldn't even be able to vibrate. AKA, without no spirit, you wouldn't even be able to have a soul to experience. And the soul needs the body, because the soul connects the body and the spirit. So the spirit hovering over telling you can go straight. The soul is between, like, with the feeling and experience, like, dang, can we go straight? The body is looking down on the road like, I don't think we could go straight, because there's a lot of things in front of us, whatever like that. Now, it's up to you if you want to listen to your spirit or your soul. But the soul could be deceiving at times. That's just like back in the Bible, when they say don't go in the dark, or don't eat the fruit, that means it's going in the dark, experiencing the woes of not being able to have what you can see. You know what I'm saying? That's not what you're supposed to do. Now, the gods who made this realm of reality may have made you see and things that appear to be what they want you to have. So they come up with obstacles and programs for you to align yourself in that way to get what they want you to have. But when you go into the dark, you understand a lot of times you could create what you want to have. But a lot of times it takes the work also. So you have to create your own light. So, you know, that's another video. But when we want to talk about as far as Mercury being in the water, a lot of times you're going to deal with these dark illusions. You're going to deal with the negative aspects of situations in your life first. Like, for an example, say you see something in your life, aka your sun sign. You see somebody else's actions or your actions, and you see the way something should be done or shouldn't be done, right? Now, when your Mercury is in a water sign, if you can't, the first thing you're gonna go to the dark realm first. You're gonna see the negative aspect. Like if everything start at the 0, you're gonna start at -9. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna look at the negative ramifications of the situation first, because that's part of understanding the surroundings, the circumference. You know what I'm saying? That's worrying about what'll happen if we go this far. What'll happen if we don't have this ledge? What'll happen if we don't have this boat in the ocean? What'll happen if we, you know what I'm saying? And that's ramifications that this world need. But AKA, that's the only way people are going to be able to understand how to be safe, how to be comfortable. Because if you're always uncomfortable, you're going to stumble and fall until you learn how to understand why you keep stumbling and falling, and learn not how to stumble and fall no more. But if you have some discernment, some concern, you know what I'm saying, AKA water, some type of surrounding emotional feel about things, then you're able to access ramifications and certain scenarios that other people can't, because you dive that deep into the scenario. Like you may be in a situation with somebody else that you can see both of y'all getting killed, and this person can't. They can only see this kind of outcome, and they look at you like, man, why you worrying and stuff like that. But without you being around, they may have never got prepared for that, to the point that when the situation did happen, y'all could have avoided getting killed, because if y'all didn't worry about that in the first place, then y'all wouldn't have run into something carelessly happy. So like I said, based upon Mercury being in a right brain sign, you're gonna be logically trying to understand things that's not logical, but I'm explaining how it's still good. So Mercury in a water sign, it's like you're looking at the negative first, but these are things that's not logical. These are emotions and feelings, because that's what the water deal with. And then once you logically understand the ramifications of a person's emotions and feelings first, that could be very good in other people's lives. You could talk people out of stuff, talk people into stuff, be manipulative, or understand a person's emotions and feelings from a real logical standpoint. So you know what I'm saying, it's good and bad with all type of sign placements. But you know, with Mercury being in water, you're able to analyze and rationalize a circumstance, a situation, a person's emotions, how they feel about a situation, regardless of what they're saying and what they're talking about. You know, the deep down what scenario they may have went through for them to come to that conclusion. So you're able to help there. And a lot of times that be the pinpoint. That's dealing with the yin realm. Like I said, before a person leave you physically, they leave you with the mind first. So yeah, if you cheating on your girl and she's still around, yeah, she might be still around. You might think you the man, but she might be gone mentally. Then when she leave and you try to go get her back, you can't get her back, and you wondering why. She may be in a more fucked up situation than she was when she was with you, and and no matter how much money you got or whatever, she still don't come back with you, and you're trying to figure out why. And the reason why is because she's already gone mentally. So it doesn't matter what situation she's in physically and what you can see externally. It doesn't matter what situation she's in, just long as that she's away from you is what's benefiting her, and she's willing to take the chances of finding another situation regardless of what circumstance she's in, and vice versa if it was a female type of way. You know what I'm saying? But it's a different dynamic. That's why it's a little better when when a guy's sun conjuncts a woman's moon, other than a woman's moon conjunct the sun, a guy's sun, because the roles will change a little bit. Because a lot of times when a man cheat, a man leave with the physical first before the mind. So a man could go and cheat, but his mind will still be with the woman. You see what I'm saying? A girl, she may go cheat, but her mind have to be gone first. She have to cheat with her mind first. So this is why a lot of times she may be been talking to a lot of other people, and these people that took her mind first. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand these type of things. But no other sign understand that more than a motherfucking Mercury and a water sign. You know what I'm saying? Now the Mercury and a fire sign, they understand it, but they may more want to express it. So they want to say it and put it all out in the open. So a lot of times they like to think about being in open relationships, and if someone is willing to be around them accordingly how they see things, and they can do things with and visualize with this person, then that's what makes a fire person can visualize being with another person as far as a connect type of thing when it comes to a mental level. You have to visualize the same way a fire and Mercury visualize. Water signs, water and Mercury, you just have to empathize the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like a fire and Mercury may not care how you feel, but they care how you see things, because see, it's dealing with the feelings but not the emotions. See, the water deal with emotions. So a lot of times when you in an emotional stance on something, you care about how someone else feel, because you can get a sense of their emotional stance on it. Fire deals with the feeling and seeing. So it's like, yeah, we could deal with the feelings, but if you could see it in a certain way, then fuck your feelings. See, it's still dealing with the feelings. Like, if we can see it in this way, let's chase that feeling. Fuck that feeling. You see what I'm saying? It's trying to chase higher feelings. So it's all dealing with the feelings. Now we gonna get to something. Now we gonna get to where the Mercury works best at, and that's Earth and air. Now we're gonna start with air. Mercury in the air sign. Now right here, these people are Mercury already thinking and communicating and trying to rationalize what it sees. And if you have a sun sign in air, then your actions and the way you act is already how you see things, and how your actions are pertaining towards communicating and thinking and analyzing amongst the things that you see. Now with a Mercury in air, you already think and analyze by thinking and communicating and analyze. So a lot of times Mercury and air signs can overdo this, over talk, overanalyze, over communicate, overthink. So a lot of times, you may not know it, but a lot of times Mercury and air signs talk to themselves. They could be introverts. You know what I'm saying? Talk to themselves a lot, because your Mercury is already thinking and communicating. Then when you put it in the air sign, it's going to think and communicate to itself. So these people like to think for themselves. A Gemini sun and a Gemini sun with a Mercury in Gemini, they gotta think for themselves. And a Aquarius with a Mercury in Aquarius, they need to think for themselves. Now if they got a Mercury in Pisces, they make it think for you, or they need your help a lot of times, so that's different. Or if they Mercury in Capricorn as an Aquarius sun, a lot of times they like to initiate and create new thoughts. So they like to elaborate with others and things of that nature. But when it comes to Aquarius, Mercury and Sun, they have to think for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you have other planets that's fucking that up, like you got say you got Neptune squaring your Mercury, and you got like a Sun, and if you got like a Sun and Mercury in air, and say you got like Neptune squaring your Mercury or something like that, this could fuck stuff up, because it can make you not think for yourself, or make you think like you have to take other people's advice. So through your life, you're gonna see yourself stumbling and falling a lot more than others, because you're not here to do that. So in this lifetime, you're here to learn and fight through that Neptune, fight through that illusion of